What if the past isn't behind you, and the future isn't ahead of you? What if every single moment you have ever lived, every memory, every loss, every turning point, every quiet decision that altered the course of your life, and every moment you believe is still coming, is happening right now? Not symbolically, not spiritually, but physically. Because if that were true, then time, the invisible structure that governs your stress, your regrets, your urgency, your fear of missing out, your sense that life is slipping away, would not be what you think it is. And the way you live your life would never be the same again. Right now, it feels obvious that you are watching this now. But pause and consider this carefully. The version of you who clicked play, and the version of you who will remember this later, and the version of you who may think about it days from now, what if they are not separated by a flowing river of time, but are different experiential slices of the same underlying reality, filtered by perception, memory, and expectation? At first, this sounds abstract, even unsettling. Time feels solid. It feels unavoidable. It feels like the one thing no one escapes. You were taught that time moves forward in a straight line, past, present, future, like an arrow fired from the beginning of the universe toward its end. You age. Your body changes. Events pile up behind you. Evidence seems everywhere. But notice something quietly disturbing. You have never actually experienced the past. You have never truly experienced the future. You have only ever experienced sensations, thoughts, emotions, and images, all arising now. Try something simple and take it seriously. Try to go to yesterday, not remember it, not think about it, not describe it. Actually go there. You can't. Now try to go to tomorrow. Again. You can imagine it, plan for it, fear it, rehearse it, but you cannot experience it. Everything you call time is always mediated through the present moment. And yet, most human suffering comes from mentally living everywhere, except the only place reality ever occurs. So why does time feel so real? Why does it feel like something is constantly slipping away, pressing forward, dragging us with it? To answer that, we have to abandon intuition, because intuition evolved for survival, not truth, and follow physics to the exact point where it stopped behaving the way we expected. When physicists looked closely enough at the universe, time was one of the first things to fracture. At the beginning of the 20th century, classical physics still described the universe as a vast machine, predictable, deterministic, unfolding in orderly sequences. Time flowed evenly, identically for everyone, independent of observation. Then relativity arrived, then quantum mechanics, and suddenly, time no longer behaved like a background stage on which reality plays out. Physicist Carlo Rovelli in Helgoland explains that modern physics does not contain a universal notion of now. There is no master clock ticking for the universe as a whole. Different observers experience different temporal orderings. Events that are simultaneous for one observer are not simultaneous for another. Time fractures depending on perspective, and at the quantum level, it dissolves even further. At the smallest scales of existence, particles do not behave like tiny objects moving through time. They behave like probability structures. They exist as superpositions, combinations of many possible states at once. A particle is not here or there. It is here and there. Not because we don't know where it is, but because it is not in one definite place until something happens, until it is measured. This is the measurement problem, not a technical glitch, but a fundamental riddle at the heart of physics. Physicist Nick Herbert, in Quantum Reality, showed that quantum theory does not describe a single unfolding world. It describes a branching structure of possibilities. Reality, at its deepest level, is not a sequence of facts. It is a space of potential outcomes. and nothing becomes definite until interaction occurs. To make this strangeness impossible to ignore, physicist Erwin Schrödinger proposed a thought experiment that still unsettles people a century later. A cat is placed inside a sealed box. Inside the box is a quantum mechanism with a random chance of killing the cat. According to quantum mechanics, until the box is opened, the system exists in superposition. The cat is both alive and dead, not symbolically, not metaphorically, physically. Only when the box is opened, when an observation is made, does the wave function collapse into a single outcome. This is not about cats. It is about the moment reality becomes definite. Because at the quantum level, reality does not unfold moment by moment like a film reel. It waits. It remains suspended as possibility. And what you experience as now is the instant when that suspension collapses into one experienced world. The present moment is not a point sliding forward along a timeline. It is an event of selection. This idea resonates with the transactional interpretation proposed by physicist John Cramer, described in the transactional interpretation of quantum mechanics, where events arise through a standing wave formed between past conditions and future constraints. From this view, causality is not a one-way arrow. Past and future are not separate containers. They are mutually constraining aspects of a single event, realized now. And this is where physics becomes deeply uncomfortable, because measurement requires an observer, and observers are conscious systems. Physicist Henry Stapp, in Mind and the Quantum, argues that consciousness cannot be treated as an external spectator. It plays a role in how quantum possibilities resolve into experienced reality. This does not mean consciousness creates reality in a naive sense. It means reality is not fully specified without participation. Observation is not passive. Interaction matters. And consciousness is interaction. Neuroscience reinforces this in a way that is just as destabilizing. Your brain does not experience the present moment directly. There is a measurable delay, tens to hundreds of milliseconds, during which sensory information is processed, integrated, predicted, and corrected. What you experience as now is already a construction. Neuroscientist Anil Seth, in Being You, explains that perception is not a window onto reality. It is a controlled hallucination, a best guess produced by the brain to maintain stability. Time perception is part of that hallucination. You do not perceive time directly. You infer it, which leads to a crucial realization. The past does not exist as a place you can return to. It exists as memory patterns activated now. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio, in Self Comes to Mind, shows that memory is not retrieval. It is reconstruction. Each time you remember an event, you rebuild it using present emotional states, present beliefs, and present neural conditions. The past you think is fixed is being rewritten every time you think about it. The pain is not in yesterday. It is happening now. The future operates in the same way. Your brain constantly runs predictive models, simulations of what might happen next. Neuroscientist Carl Friston, co-author of Theoretical Neuroscience, describes the brain as a system that minimizes uncertainty by predicting the world. Anxiety is not fear of what will happen. It is the nervous system reacting to uncertainty in the present. Some physicists take this even further. Physicist Lee Smolin, in Time Reborn, challenges the idea that time is fundamental at all, proposing that time emerges from relationships, interactions, and change. Meanwhile, David Bohm, in Wholeness and the Implicate Order, suggested that reality unfolds from a deeper, timeless order, an implicate realm where everything already exists in a folded state. From this perspective, the present moment is not moving forward. It is unfolding. And if all of this is true, then something profound follows. You are not trapped in time. You are participating in reality's continual emergence. The past is not holding you. The future is not chasing you. Both appear now as memory, anticipation, and thought. Freedom does not lie in fixing yesterday or controlling tomorrow. It lies in understanding where reality actually happens. Here, now, always. And if all of this is true, then something quietly radical follows. You are not trapped in time. You are not being dragged forward by an invisible force you can't control. You are participating, moment by moment, in reality's continual emergence. The past is not holding you. The future is not chasing you. Both appear now, as memory, anticipation, emotion, and thought. Freedom doesn't come from fixing yesterday, and it doesn't come from securing tomorrow. It comes from understanding where reality actually happens. Here, now, always. But this is only the beginning. Because if time is not fundamental, if past and future are not separate places, and if the present is not a moving point but an event of selection, then a much deeper question opens. What does this mean for the structure of the universe itself? What does it mean for causality, for before and after? If distant events can be linked instantaneously, what does it mean that quantum systems remain connected across space and time, as if locality itself were an illusion? And what does it mean that living systems, including your own body and brain, may be operating at the edge of quantum coherence, sensitivity, and timing? In the following episodes, we will go further. We'll explore how physics challenges the idea of a flowing timeline altogether, through the block universe, non-locality, and entanglement. We'll look at why simultaneity breaks down, why cause and effect may not be strictly one-directional, and how time may emerge from deeper patterns of interaction. And we'll begin to connect this to life itself, to biology, to consciousness, and to what it really means to be a living system embedded in a timeless universe. Because once the illusion of time begins to loosen, the question is no longer what time is. The question becomes, who are you when time is no longer in charge?